Time now for your morning rush. Police say the investigation into a mass shooting inside a Colorado supermarket will take days to complete. Boulder police say a lone gunman walked into the King Soopers grocery store, then opened fire yesterday afternoon. 51-year-old Officer Eric Telley is among the 10 dead. Police say a suspect was arrested but did not release his identity. Eric.
We're going to be looking at a pretty active week here, guys, as we go through really the next several days. Several storms to talk about, especially this one moving in later tonight into tomorrow. A very big storm bringing widespread snow here to our region. There's another one on the way later on this week, so winter not going away here just yet.
Investigators are looking into claims that a Grants man murdered 15 people. Sean Lannon was connected to the 4 bodies found in a car at the SUNPORT this month, one of whom was his ex-wife, during a hearing for another murder in New Jersey. Prosecutors say that Lannon claimed that he killed 11 drug dealers. Grants police say that they have no leads suggesting more victims.
An Albuquerque business is fed up after multiple burglaries in the past 6 months. The alarm went off at Rowan Apparel on Sunday. Surveillance video shows a man use a large rock to smash in the door, grab what he can, then walk out with about $700 worth of merchandise. This is the 4th time the store has been hit since September.
There is an improvement in the number of New Mexico's COVID hospitalizations and deaths. Between UNM Hospital and the Sandoval Regional Medical Center, fewer than 20 people are in the hospital with COVID. About half of them are on ventilators. Presbyterian has about 30 people with COVID across its 10 hospitals. Only 5 of those patients are on ventilators. Eric.
We're already looking at some clouds increasing here from the west, and some snow showers will be moving in here very shortly behind a very strong winter storm system. I'll have the timing and totals here in a bit, guys.
Looking ahead, Albuquerque Mayor Tim Keller will be running for a 2nd term this fall. Keller pointed out the city's response to the pandemic is a big accomplishment of his first term. He says his campaign will also focus on climate change, social justice, racial equity, and public safety. The election is November 2nd.
Community members in Edgewood are pitching in to help a family after a devastating house fire. Amanda DeVargas woke up on Thursday to find smoke filling her home. Well, the family lost their clothes and supplies for a new baby on the way. The good news here, the community has already raised more than $3,000 to help them recover.
All right, let's take a look at your early morning drive here on your Tuesday morning. Look at our traffic maps, all clean and green. No major tie-ups to tell you about this morning. A look over the Big I right now. Things seem to be moving smoothly. We'll let you know if something does pop up. Some of UNM's best sports moments of all time are being digitally archived. The Sports History Archive features more than 300 clips from 1947 to 2004. Men's and women's basketball are featured along with baseball, swimming, and tennis. University archivist says that it's a great way to connect with old and new Lobo fans.
UNM students are working on this year's SITCOM boot camp. Students in the program usually create and perform the network-style episode in front of a live audience, but of course this year's was done over Zoom, with actors taking part from across the country. The episode, called Two's a Crowd, follows a young couple during the early days of the pandemic. UNM alumnus and Hollywood filmmaker Brian Levant directed that episode.
DION'S is working on a huge expansion project. The restaurant has taken over the former IT's building on San Mateo and Montgomery. This will be used as a new commissary where they will make and prepare their restaurant staples like salad dressings and cookies. The building will also serve as the company's administration building.
Well, the world's first tweet is sold now for $2.9 million. Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey auctioned off the ownership and rights to that first ever tweet as a type of cryptocurrency. Well, the tweet said, quote, "Just setting up my Twitter." CEO of another company bought the tweet after it spent 2 weeks on the open market.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Very cool.
All right, improving numbers. Hospitalizations for COVID are continuing to go down across the state. We'll have that coming up in the 5 Facts.
Plus this, looking for proof. Investigators are still questioning the man connected to the 4 bodies found at the SUNPORT and his claims of murdering nearly a dozen other victims. Details ahead in the 5 Facts. Welcome back. Time now for the 5 Facts. This morning at number 5, community members in Edgewood are pitching in to help a family now displaced after a devastating house fire. Amanda DeVargas woke up on Thursday morning to find smoke filling her Edgewood home. The mom of 2, who is pregnant with their 3rd child, quickly helped her daughters, 2 teenage siblings, and many pets to escape. DeVargas says that the home is a complete loss and they lost all of their clothing. The community has already raised more than $3,000 to help.
Number 4, now New Mexico continues to see improvement in the number of COVID hospitalizations and deaths. Between UNM Hospital and the Sandoval Regional Medical Center, less than 20 people are in the hospital with COVID. About half of them are on ventilators. Presbyterian has about 30 people with COVID across its 10 hospitals. Only 5 of those patients are on ventilators. This comes after the state recorded no new deaths on Saturday for the first time since October.
At number 3, we continue to follow the mass shooting inside a Boulder, Colorado supermarket that left 10 people dead. Boulder police say that a lone gunman walked into the King Soopers grocery store and opened fire yesterday afternoon. 51-year-old officer Eric Talley is among the dead. Now, a woman standing in front of a line for a COVID-19 vaccine was also shot. A father behind her says that after seeing her being shot, he grabbed his 2 daughters and then bolted upstairs to hide them in a closet. His story just one of many, while that suspect in the case is in custody. Eric.
Well, highs today really changing depending on where you're at. Much colder air moving in from the north and west. Still staying pretty warm here across the south and east, but hold on, a strong storm on the way later on this evening.
At number 1 this morning, investigators are still searching for proof following claims that a Grants man murdered 15 people in New Mexico. Sean Lannon was connected to the 4 bodies recently found in a car at the SUNPORT, one of whom was his ex-wife. Now, during a hearing last week on the charges for another murder in New Jersey, prosecutors say that Lannon claimed that he killed 11 more people in New Mexico, describing them as drug dealers. But Grants police say that they have no leads suggesting that there are more victims. So far, Lannon has not been charged with any deaths here in New Mexico.